The history of the past brought about fundamental changes that permanently affected the economic, political, and social aspects of our lives in Zimbabwe. However, the word past does not necessarily mean that everything associated with it is now gone. The past lives with us, and it still lives in people's memories today. It is therefore important to ask, how do people remember the past? What do they remember about it? Who do they remember in their recollections? What constitutes the past? Who recollects the past? And where is the past recollected? We'll continue our coverage of the politics of the past in Zimbabwe. This book was published by Brio, and a copy of it can be accessed on the link that is in the description panel below. Thank you so much for mentioning reparations. I've been doing research into African soldiers who participated in the Second World War, and something that came out of that is the kind of racial discrimination that characterized the demobilization process and reintegration of the troops into civilian life after the war. So many of the families were left with absolutely nothing, and they've been, seriously disadvantaged over the years and completely forgotten. So that's something that I've been looking into as well. So I'm going to be in touch with you.
Yeah, great. 2025 is the year of reparations for the African Union.
Yeah, so definitely I like this. So viewers and listeners, it would be very important for you to click the links that are in the description panel so that you can get to know about the works of our guests. I'm going to put some links so that you can get to see the work that they do, some of the publications that they have done, so that you can get to familiarize yourself and get to know them. One of the things that I have to tell you is that apart from just marketing the books, we also get to market the authors here on the book series.
Very kindly.
I'm very happy that we are able to do that. But let us move on to the very next segment of our discussion. One of the things that our viewers are very also particular about is knowing about the book and its creation. I'm going to want to start on that note. I want us to get into the core ideas of the book, but before we get to do that, I just want you to tell me how you managed to put together this whole book project, because it's not just a book project. Putting together an edited collection and bringing on board different contributors from different parts of the world and different institutions is not quite an easy thing, conceptualizing it and all of that. So we want you to tell us something about that process, and then afterwards I think we can get into a discussion of the core ideas. So let's start on that.
Okay, maybe if I can start there. We got funding 7 years ago, I think, from the Nordic Research Councils to do a project on or to initiate both research and collaboration in the Nordic countries where we're all three based, with a couple of other colleagues, Niklas Holén and Lena Englund, to do more research and more networking activities on Southern African culture, because a lot of the work that's already done in the Nordic countries focuses on the social sciences. So we thought that there was something that we could perhaps offer here. And then quite quickly we agreed to have Zimbabwe as our focus area rather than to study the entire region of Southern Africa, because Zimbabwe is just a country that we all care a lot about and are really interested in terms of research. So as we were working on this for the first and the second and eventually the third workshops, the idea of the politics of the past emerged as really crucial, because how the past is remembered is super important if you want to understand Zimbabwean culture, politics, society. So not only is there a lot of violence and as well as like magnificent events in the country's past, there is also a lot of contestation over how these different historical eras should be remembered in the present. So on the one hand, for instance, you have the ruling party, ZANU-PF, which has been eager to control the narrative of the struggle for independence and the years in its aftermath. But on the other hand, you have artists, activists, civil society organizations, political movements that have been challenging the official storyline. So this, so we really seized on this idea of the politics of the past and used the workshops and that we organized around in a couple of places in Scandinavia, and one of them online due to Corona, to explore the multiple dimensions of how the past is politicized in Zimbabwe. Because we got funding from the Nordic Research Council, we were our first obligation was to do networking activities for people who are already in the Nordic countries. It's really important to bring also people from the continent to the Scandinavian countries. And we wanted to have people who were, some of the people who have been instrumental in theorizing and studying empirically these questions that we're interested in. So for instance, Jocelyn Alexander was someone we just had to invite. But we also wanted to have people who were practitioners in different ways, so that we would get out of the academic format. So we invited visual artist Owen Seko. We invited a couple of authors of fiction, Bettina Gapper and Elke Bremer. And we also wanted young scholars. So we were looking at who is writing exciting new things and doing interesting things on the politics of the past in Zimbabwe. So for instance, Petisima Etsa's work has been really inspiring to me. So he was one person that we invited. And of course, it's a struggle with visas and everything to bring people together. And there were people who eventually could not make it because of those constraints. But we were really fortunate to still be able to have people come and join us.
Oh, yes, yes. And I saw that, I read the list of names of all the people that you brought on board. I was impressed. I'm going to look, I will make sure that I also put the names of all the contributors of this book right in the description panel, so that our people can get to know the people that participated in this project. But thank you very much for that.